Hey guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street where the street speaks. Once again, my name is Jess, and I have my geek buddy Harvin over here. Say hello.
What's up, guys?
Okay, so before we go ahead, if you guys love what we do, if you like the content that we make, and you want us to make more contents like this, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon below in our YouTube page, The Geek Street. Okay, the reason why I'm saying this because there's another page called Geek Street, so that is not our channel. Okay, please make sure to type The Geek Street and you will land into our page and you'll see all of our content. And we also have our Instagram page, the geekstreet.my, so please make sure to follow us there as we have constant updates on basically any blockbuster movie news. Our editor Arvin over here, he does all of the posts for our IG, so please like and support. And we also have a Discord community. Basically, we are a community where we talk everything Marvel, Star Wars, anything you name it. I love Jurassic Park and Transformers. I got no one to talk to me about that. So please, Transformers fan, please come and join the Discord community so we can talk more over there. Link is in our description below, so please make sure to follow. Okay, so the reason we are here is because Loki season 2 episode 4 just dropped. So if you haven't watched this episode yet, please, I urge you, go and watch this episode because spoiler alert, this is the episode where things are picking up. So you don't want us to spoil anything. I mean, no one wants it to happen, right? So please, spoiler alert, go and watch it first, then come and jump in this video. Okay, so yes, episode 4 just dropped, and like I mentioned, it's things are picking up. A lot of things were going on, intense things, and especially at the last scene, the ending, it was like. So before we start breaking down and explaining what actually went on in this episode, Arvin, how do you feel? What do you think about this episode?
Yeah, I think I've already mentioned previously on our episode as well that things are just going to get even worse. And practically that's what just happened. And it happened at the right episode because you see certain Marvel series, you see the series like practically picks up like towards the end, episode 5, like that. So it does not have the space to explain or have a smoother transition of a story. But this one is happening at end of episode 4, and now episode 5 and 6 is just like it's going to be like a mini movie, like the climax of a mini movie. So it's just very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, like Harvey mentioned. So this is a 6-episode series, right? And things are picking up, going to pick up in these 2 episodes. So we'll have a lot to absorb, especially the fact that each episode is about 45 minutes long. So
yeah, I think that one I need to really mention about that though. I think I'm very, very satisfied and happy that the fact that the Loki episode is about 45 minutes to, it does not even go below 45 minutes. It's like 45 minutes to about 50. I think one of the episodes was almost 52 minutes. So it did not go low. Like if you see certain series, even Loki, previous, I think season 1, they had like about 33 minutes, 36 minutes. They had those kind of episodes. But this one, I'm like so satisfied over so long episodes.
Yeah, so that because once a week, right? The video, the series drops episodes, so you get to absorb everything, so you can last till the next week. So yeah, let's jump ahead into the explainer for Loki season 2 episode 4. So yeah, this is an interesting episode, right? Because things are picking up differently compared to the previous 3 episodes that we watched. Even the opening title card for this episode was different. So rather than your usual Marvel logo, then the scene picks up. This one, it comes in a Marvel logo, and then you get this intense warped scene, like, and then it goes through the time branches. So it's actually quite amazing because every time when we see the time branches, we see it from a far perspective. But this one, we are like in it. Of course, you can't really see much, but you can actually hear a lot of things going on, like screams and everything. And I'm very sure they're all vital audio. It's just that you can't make out what these audios are. Harvin, do you think do you have any idea what these sounds are?
No, I think if people really, really want to know what's going on, they have to like take the particular audio and then go to that one software, and then like you have to decode the whole thing properly, and then you can hear. But I think it's just if you can logically think about it, I think now we have alternate timelines going on, so probably there are some timelines which is in chaos. So if you can hear some screaming, then probably it's because of that. Because it's not meant to be. That is the whole purpose. That's why He Who Remains made the whole sacred timeline. One reason because to avoid the multiverse war and all the Kang to rise. But at certain point also, I think he definitely made it in a way that not have a lot of chaos in the timeline. So I think now everything is just haywire. And of course, I think I want to mention about the title of the episode as well. I think it's called The Heart of the TVA. So I think in that sense, it has a few which can tie into the title. I think one is because of Miss Minutes. Because Miss Minutes practically, I mean, He Who Remains created Miss Minutes. So Miss Minutes is in control of the whole TVA. So one is, I think it's going to be for Miss Minutes. And one more, I think, is the whole Temporal Loom plotline. That's like practically the heart of TVA. So if that is in bad shape, so everything is in, chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think basically that's what it means, the heart of TV. And also, I wanted to tell you one thing I realized. If you notice Loki season 1, the opening of the last episode, they actually show the multiverse, different galaxies, right? And then
it's like the Big Bang scene kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so like the entire universe, but the multiple universes. And when that was opening, you actually hear snippets of sound like Martin Luther King and all the heroes and everything. But those sounds, you can actually hear what is going on. I think because that shows that is actually in order. All these universes have their own barriers and own things going on. But now because of the chaos, everything is mashed up together. And that's why all the sounds, you can't really make it. And it's like just chaos going on because of the temporal loom. And I actually have an idea. There was like one scream that you hear when the thing is going on. And I have an idea what the scream is. Later, I'll tell you at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, when moving on, and they didn't waste much time, because they actually show the Citadel beyond time, at the end of time, and Ravonna and Miss Minutes over there, right? So Miss Minutes actually shows a projection, what happened between He Who Remains and Ravonna. So what's funny is this. You see what was going on. He was telling Ravonna Renslayer, "You're quite a marvel. I'm honored to lead by your side," and things like that. So it actually shows that Ravonna was the one who led the army that fought in the multiversal war. Okay, so she fought in the multiversal war, and also I think she helped him tame Allied, because Allied was the creature that was guarding He Who Remains from the Citadel beyond time. So how powerful Ravonna is, even she doesn't know that she was actually a general who led a war like this. And if you notice on her uniform, there was the number 823 written on it. So 823, I think it's a nod to Ravonna Renslayer's first appearance in the Marvel comic, which was during 1965 in Avengers issue number 23. So to give you a background of Ravonna Renslayer and who she is actually a princess, a daughter of a king in the comics, daughter of a king, and Kang was actually in love with her. So when he tried to conquer that kingdom, he actually spared that kingdom to win her heart, but she didn't love him back. So in the end, he conquered the kingdom. So yeah, that's a little bit of background. So we don't know whether this Ravonna has that same kind of history, because she was actually a very strong, powerful warrior princess. Far in the future, during the 40th century, I think. We are just in the 21st century. So yeah, that's how powerful Ravonna is. If you guys have any other ideas of Ravonna's backstory, you can leave it in the comments below. Okay,
Yeah, of course, it's from the comic. Is that, but we all know that not everything they're going to copy paste from the comics and put it there, because I think they want it to be very simplified with the story, because we all know that all the TVA agents are just normal humans which are pruned and brought to the TVA and then become the TVA agents. So she's one. I think from even season 1 also, you can see at that one particular point, there's one scene. I don't know if Ravonna goes back that scene or somebody else goes back to this. You can see they go back to the past. You can see Ravonna being a school teacher.
I think it was B15. She met Ravonna.
Yeah, it was B15. So in this particular MCU, she's not that whole princess kind of thing, but she's just I think it gives even more character depth if she's a normal human instead of a princess, and she's leading an army of. It gives the impact there, right? So I think that's a better storyline for her. But if you're going to talk about powers, I don't think she has any powers. I think she led the army with powerful tech-based weapons, I would say, because of that.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't have powers, but more like strategy and
strategy. Yeah,
warrior kind of. Yeah, but it's true what you said, because she actually, in the first season, you will actually see her holding the pen, Fremont High. So, or possibly from that timeline.
Yeah, and I think also that her strategy and actions are even more powerful in a sense, is because I think the connection she have towards Kang, and maybe he promised her something like a new beginning for the TVA or something of sorts. So her motivation towards that led her to win the whole multiversal war with the army she led.
So speaking of memories being erased, so of course you see He Who Remains call in these minutes, and he asked her to execute Protocol 42. Sounds a lot like execute Order 66. I feel like it's a nice nod to the Star Wars prequels, but 42. But if you guys notice, 42 is a very, very prominent number throughout cinematic history. I mean, even in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the machine, the computer actually says the answer to the meaning of life is the number 42. So we see the number 42 everywhere. So not really sure does Hollywood have like this sacred number that is going on where they have to implant it everywhere? But you see 42 or not.
I mean, we all know like how the human mind works, right? Like you see, for example, our brain captures the color red and yellow prominently. That's why McDonald's has that thing. So I mean, in certain things, a human mind captures certain things. So maybe a 42 plays like a the word. You say 42, like it captures something to the human mind. Probably you never know. So it plays something a role into that.
Yeah. I'm thinking also. That's why, is it like a secret number, or when you say it, it just stalls at the back of it?
I mean, honestly speaking, when they say 42, it's like I can feel that the number, something impactful of the number. Like Protocol 42. Oh shit. Something is big coming up. Like they have to order 66. So imagine you say Protocol 13. Like what?
That's right. Number 13. Yeah. I get what you mean. So Protocol 42 sounds very intense. So Star Wars. So so when Ravonna sees this, she's like super angry, because He Who Remains wiped everyone's memory. So basically, it means probably, who knows, Mobius might have taken part in this multiversal war and he doesn't even remember. But so they decided that they're going to take over the TVA, overthrow the leadership of He Who Remains, and they want to run the TVA by themselves. So while in the TVA, you see Victor Timely, It's quite amazing. Can you imagine you created something and you don't even know it, and then you're just there? And
I like the way when Obi explains that it's like a snake eating on itself. It's like a reference which I mentioned earlier during episode 1, when episode 1 title was Ouroboros. When his name is Ouroboros, it is like an ancient Greek which I read. It's like a mythology where it's like a thing where you consume, it goes around kind of thing. So it was nice that he mentioned that particular reference, and his name is Ouroboros, and the episode 1 also was Ouroboros.
Yeah.
So,
Ouroboros basically means the depiction of life, death, and reincarnation. So it's like a
correct,
circle.
yeah.
So basically the snake eating its own tail until it dies and then it comes back alive.
Correct.
So despite the whole ordeal about the timeline, the chicken and egg thing and all, but what's interesting is the fact that it looks like Obi's Ouroboros memories were never wiped, because he remembers the fact that Mobius came to his department, even though Mobius don't remember. People might think Mobius don't remember because it's like insignificant for him lah. But what if Mobius' memory was wiped and Obi's memories were never wiped? And the fact that he knows about Victor Timely, but it might mean that basically he just has knowledge about Victor Timely, but whatever happened within the TVA, there's nothing. But what do you think, Harvin? Do you think Obi's memories were wiped or not?
I mean, the whole time I had the thought where he was the only one who didn't get his memory wiped. But when you just said that, I mean, they can possibly, if you can wipe someone's mind, they also can possibly alter what you want to wipe from their memory and what you don't want to wipe from their memory, right? So I don't know, but what we know as of now is that he is one of those person where he has remembered the whole thing. And I think probably why Kang does not even bother, if at all, if he did not wipe his memory, I think he does not bother of wiping Obi's memory because he was the only tech guy down there, so he does not have the purpose of going up and see what's going on. So I think it's just gave him the idea or the purpose. Your purpose is just being below and doing all the tech stuff. You have nothing else to worry about. You just have to focus on that. But you can see that he feels like his purpose, that's all. He never had the idea of going on top, checking what's on top. Like you can see when in episode 1 when Loki and Mobius goes to visit him to ask about some question, you can see when there's this thing comes down, he's focused on the exit. No, I have to go do this first and then I come and talk to you. So it's like probably they made him tune in that way and maybe never wipe his memory, or if they even wipe his memory, probably they just wipe what it was necessary and what's not. But I have a strong feeling that they did not wipe his memory.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe they didn't wipe, probably they forgot, or maybe he's crucial to the engineering department, so like you cannot make him forget stuff or what. But I don't think that will play a really huge part. I don't know, maybe it might. Who knows? Maybe he might know something that happened in the past and how to overcome it. But
I think one more reason. I mean, we can come up with so much of theories, but I just thought about it like for the whole story purpose, right, of how the storyline is going. I think with the writers and stuff, I think they eventually need someone to explain about the TVA. So they have to have someone whose mind is not wiped. So just for the story purpose, they made Obi, his mind is not wiped. So it's not, they don't have to go too far on theories also. Maybe it can just be there for the whole story purpose. You need someone to explain, right? Because you can see Loki and Mobius for the first time, they also going all the way down below to see the Temporal Loom. So you need someone to explain. And the only people could possibly explain is Miss Minutes, Renslayer. So you need someone on the inside. So that's for story purpose, probably they give OP, his mind not wiped.
Yeah, most likely. So we don't dwell so much into that. Okay, moving on. So Obi actually built a scale model, not to scale model, because he actually says it's not to scale, but a very cute scale model to depict how the temporal loom works and how the barrier and everything works, right?
The whole thing, I like the part was that he made a scale model, but it's so perfect, so nice, and you can see even the another scale at the back there was the temporal loom scale. You can see there he put a part not to scale.
Not to scale, yeah. So and even then also he still says that it's not really that good and everything. And then they say no, you did a good job. and then he smiles, So I think that's like a Back to the Future reference, because if you watch Back to the Future, Doc Brown will actually show Marty a scale model of the town, and where he has to run the DeLorean to hook to the cable, and then to hit 85 miles per hour lah. Then only the car will go through time, right?
Yeah.
And then even then Doc will say, oh, it's not really up to scale and everything. Then Marty will say, oh no, you did a good job, doctor. Then he'll say, oh, thank you. So I think that's a nod. I think this episode got a lot of like a nod, homage to all these pop culture movies lah. So I think it's really nice. If you guys love pop culture movies, then you should watch this episode. You will enjoy it. So while they are, then of course Timely gives his what was the machine called?
I was not. He didn't say specifically it was a machine. I think it's like it's something to balance the temporal loom, like to make it bigger in scale, to extend so that the timeline.
Yeah, there's a name for the device, but I forgot what's the name of the device. But there's a small circular device. So while they're dealing with that, so of course Mobius says want to go have key lime pie. So now even that also I still have like a deep theory. Why key lime pie? Why is everything key lime pie? What are they feeding in key lime pie that is keeping them dormant over there, But of course Sylvie gets angry and then she scolds Mobius and everything. But I think for Mobius it's a way to
escape from reality.
Yeah, to escape from reality, to cope with it, to cope with what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's just go makan. He's probably stress eating,
Yeah. No, I think we don't have to dwell that too much, because I think that the whole purpose of Sylvie throwing the tantrums at Mobius was to show eventually. He will go and find out about his timeline, because that's what he's like. He doesn't bother of seeing it because he's afraid of what it could be. So it's just to show that the whole scene, I think, is just to give even more character depth for Mobius. So eventually he'll go and see, because if you remember from the trailer, there'll be one point on the Loki trailer where Loki time slips to a place, and the background is jet skis stop. So probably that is the Mobius, the actual Mobius, where he's like a owner of the jet ski store or something like that, right? So so it's just to give even more character depth for Mobius.
So while in the cafeteria, you see this ordeal going on between Sylvie and Loki, and you see Loki bringing up. I mean, in this season, you actually see Loki referencing about his past a lot. He's using his past as an example of growth for himself. Like how he said he got angry at Tony Stark, and now he said that, when Thor came back a different person from the first movie, and Loki mocked him for being weak, but actually it was his strength. So it actually shows that you have to let go of all your anger and distraught to see the bigger picture. It's all about seeing the bigger picture. So that's why when Loki says that, we have to hope, and she says, oh, we have to hope on everything. And that's when he says that, destroying is very easy, but hoping and staying is much more difficult. So even then also, Sylvia say, oh, whatever we do, we have to play gods. And this time you can see the difference, when Loki say, every time Loki says, oh, I'm a god, you have to bow down to me. That's your nature, human nature. But in this episode, you actually see the shot, like Loki is so small, and then he says, we are gods. So it's a way that him telling is not that, oh, I'm a god and I can do whatever, but it's more like, we are gods. It's time that we act like gods and actually do something to save the people. That they're very disrupted, like he's accepting the fact that, I'm a god and I have to carry this burden. No one else should carry this burden, that kind of feeling.
Correct.
Yeah, don't you agree? So it's a nice turnover for Loki's character.
Right. And one more thing I want to note that when in that particular conversation, you see like Loki, Sylvie is like blaming, saying to Loki like, now we just hand this whole situation to a bunch of people that which she referencing to Timely, OP, KC, and everyone. And you can actually see Loki standing up and he named every one of them. Yeah. Mobius, D15, KC, OP, Timely. He said everyone is trying to, do their job to save. They are doing the best they can to save this whole situation. So, like, you can see he's standing up for someone who became very close to him. Like, even KC. Like, you can see.
So when after that ordeal goes on, right? So we quickly jump to where General Docs and her crew, they were in prison in the same room where X5 was in prison. So when Ravonna and Miss Minutes come and try to negotiate with General Docs, and you can actually, first B15 comes, right? She tries to negotiate and everything. You can see how hesitant General Docs is, but deep inside she knows that what B15 and the rest are doing is for the better good. And she almost changed her mind. She really wanted to change her mind, but then B15 left them to think about it, and then Ravonna and Miss Minutes came in and murdered them in cold blood. And of course, X5, Brad, being the chicken he is, who just wants to live his life, he didn't die along with them. And I think it's one of the most gruesome death scenes, even though we cannot see, but we can actually feel it. The fact that everyone was just crushed. And when you see Miss Minutes' face, the pure evil that she was actually enjoying them being murdered. And Ravonna also didn't flinch, So these are like, my God, the worst people to actually lead the TVA.
Yeah.
So...
And my theory for General Dog just went down the drain.
What was the theory, huh?
Being the elder version of Sylvie.
Oh, yeah. Elder version of Sylvie.
Because, I mean, like, initially when they casted her, she's one of the, great actress and everything. So, being her just for a small portrayal, but I don't know, we still have episode 5 and 6, so we do not know yet. But I don't know, it's somewhere in my heart, I feel like that's her character, but still, that's always some surprise. And even I mentioned in the previous episode where the main, like the overarching villain for this season is probably going to be Miss Minutes. Because you can see that the development, even in the earlier this episode, she says that to Renslayer that we do not need He Who Remains anymore. We can take control of this. And you can see that she's enjoying killing the agents. So probably she might be the bigger villain for the whole season and can turn up into something even bigger than Ultron. Like I told her that her AI is even more powerful than Ultron and Vision because she has the capability of controlling time, the whole multiverse, right? So if that happens, an AI control, I think it is going to be in bad shape.
So after murdering and everything, so B15 comes into the room and then she tries to access her tempad. And the moment she tried to access her tempad, that's when she notices that Miss Minutes has blocked it all. But what's nice about this reference, another pop culture reference, Miss Minutes image appears in a tempad and it says So Jurassic Park fans, please give us some sort of shout out if you noticed it. Leave your comments below that you actually noticed it, because my childhood hit me right in my heart. Because if you guys love Jurassic Park, you would have known the scene where Samuel Jackson's character Arnold tries to access Nedry's character, Wayne Knight, Nedry's character's laptop, PC. And it's locked, and then Nedry's face appears and he says, he didn't say the magic word, So it was a really nice nod that they did it over there. So moving on, we actually see Victor Timely amazed with a hot cocoa machine that he, looks at it and then he gives it to D19. And even during that time, I felt like maybe he has some kind of malicious purpose. Is he going to give D19 the hot cocoa, then steal his the bat or something? The stick. But turns out, they were just enjoying like man to man. He just like. But it's so sad that D19 got thrown by X5, the betrayer. So you can see that. I thought he would change his heart, But turns out he didn't. He's actually a bad person. But maybe in the next 2 episodes, you might see him changing his heart, because you can see he actually had the guilt that his friends were dying, but he most likely he wanted to just save his life. So that's why he did that lah. So D19 gets pruned and Timely gets taken, and nine funny jokes that goes in also lah. When Obi trying to hack into the system, he asked Mobius, did you download any illegal games again? And I thought Mobius would be like, what are you talking about? But Mobius will say, no, of course I know better than the last time. So and if Mobius don't remember his last visit with Obi, it means probably recently he was bored, so he probably downloaded some illegal game when he was playing. So kids, please don't download illegal games. Only buy on game. Especially for PS5 digital version. So when the timeline goes unstable, right? So this is the scene where Loki was time slipping into the future. So the time loop is going unstable and crazy, and then we see the previous Loki, the time slipping Loki, holding the device, the beeper, and of course we see back the scene where Sylvie is stuck in the elevator, and the time slipping Loki sees Sylvie over there, and he gets pruned. So you see he gets pruned none other than by Loki. Loki gets pruned, and then of course that telephone scene. We were waiting for so long, wanting to know who is calling on the telephone, but turns out it's just Obi. It was disappointing, but okay, it was fun at the same time. Okay. So that actually teaches you, don't overthink it. It's just something simple. But so Obi says that he needs to reboot the entire system, and then Loki and Sylvie can finally use their magic, because their magic is inhibited in the TVA. So the moment he reboots, you see Miss Minutes going into system reboot as well. And it was funny, because when Miss Minute goes into system reboot, she was actually glitching. And she was like, oh, I'm glitching and I'm locked out of the system. And Victor Timely says, but you don't have to mock me. The reason why he says that is because it's not only because he thinks that he's mocking her, but because he's from the 19th century. He's from early 20th century, 1893, right? So that time there's no digital glitches and everything. So he doesn't know what is a glitch. So when Miss Minnie does that, he thinks that she's just mocking him. But so the moment she goes into system reboot, she tells Victor Timely that she wants to tell him something. So of course, a lot of us thought that she's going to say, I love you, or please. But the fact that she died and she still mustered up some energy to come back, and she came back like a Terminator, you see like one eye will still be like whole and digital like that. And she says, you'll never be him. And then she disappears. And then she goes back to her default self, basically an AI chatbot. But when she disappears, it focuses on the background, which is He Who Remains face. Basically a skank because he got that thing and all. So it's like a reflection. I think that's where it hit Victor Timely, that it's either I'm going to prove to you that I can be him, I can create time, I can control time, or when he looks at it, I don't want to be that kind of murderer. So it goes both ways, but we talk about the whole thing, right? Whether Victor Timely is going to be He Who Remains or not, or what. So after they save Victor Timely, Sylvie uses her mind control to use X5 or Brad to prune Ravonna. The excitement I had, I was like, yes, you murdered all the people. No, you get pruned. You should get pruned. You deserve to get pruned. But so she got pruned, and then of course they go back to the Temporal Loom, and so Timely says that he will be the one that will bring the device to and go and put it online. So the thing is, when he did that, it's also another theory. It's either, the most obvious one is because when Miss Minnie says that you will never be him, so Victor Timely wants to prove that, my heart is different, my intentions are different. So I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to risk my life and I will do what it needs to be done to save TVA. So he says, time to be brave, because he's scared inside. Anything can happen to you. And he goes. But there's another version. He somehow figure out that he can go and then like get into the Temporal Loom and then go to the future or what. But I don't think that's likely lah. But yeah, the moment the bridge opens and he goes out onto the bridge, he spaghettifies. So that's the same thing that Ouroboros told Mobius, right? That you get spaghettified, your skin will become a spaghetti. But in case if you guys don't know, if you guys are people like me who love reading about space and black hole and all this, spaghettification is an actual phenomenon that will actually happen if you go very close to a black hole. Because black holes, their gravity pull is so strong that light cannot escape. It even pulls light. So if a human being were to go into a black hole, it will stretch you so much, it will stretch your atoms so much that you will actually become like spaghetti. So that's actually what happened because there's so much radiation that he's spaghettified. So don't think that it's a joke. Spaghettification is real and it's dangerous. Please don't try this.
Don't try this at home. Why does the black hole going to be coming over?
Don't go create a black hole and try this. Okay? You want spaghetti? Go to an Italian restaurant. You can eat good spaghetti. Okay? But yeah, it's so sad to see that, Victor Timely dying. The fact that his skin ripped off, you can actually see his skeleton and the jaw and everything. So it was a very painful death, but he sacrificed himself. So he proved his word that he won't be a murderer, or a conqueror like that. And right after he died, he screamed. And that's the exact same scream you hear at the opening. If you don't believe me, go back to the opening scene where the Time Brothers, you hear that scream and you hear Victor Timely scream. It's the same scream. So it's to say that he died over there, in all that branching and all. He went into the chaos. Right after that, and everyone had this sense of doom because, it was such a heavy scene, to show that nothing can be done. No one had any last minute ideas or anything. Everyone are like, don't know. Even Casey, pity that guy. Casey, he's just like a always ridiculed and always like a small character. And even he was like, I don't know, but it wasn't me. And even Loki, for the first time, he also like, I don't know. And the tears coming out, and when the explosion happens, and all they could do is just face it, brace for impact. So
I mean, you can see it's like practically look like a black hole explosion kind of thing. You can see the whole timeline explodes. Like just that like, what is going? Like you see now you have so much of questions because this happens because the TV time works as such. When this happens, what is impacting back on the actual Earth 616? What is going on? Exactly. So and I really hope it covers the upcoming movies and of course towards the end of Loki season. Not to say they will solve it ultimately, but they will at least solve it because they want to not have such problems in upcoming movies. Because when you see the upcoming movies, you need to see what's going on. If nothing is going on in the movies, then the whole thing doesn't make sense. So I don't know what they are going to do with that.
Yeah, because it'll be a big impact. Everything is going to go crazy. All hell going to break loose. So I don't think they can focus on future movies like that. So they have to fix it now. That's why you have 2 more episodes. This thing didn't happen at the end. There's 2 more episodes to fix things.
Like I said, they will fix it, but it's just going to be there'll be another problem. Then which probably leads up to. I hope this is not the end of Loki season 2. I hope there is Loki season 3. And I explained to you that they should end Loki with a season 3. Season 3 should be the end, and it should be somewhere in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I think that should be the final season where it can make sense. It can be like a bridge to the whole thing is going on,
Yeah.
But of course, you cannot do season 4 anymore outside of that because the whole thing is about multiverse saga. So hopefully there is like a season 3. I really cannot let go Loki.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because we don't enjoy other series that much, because Loki is just carrying, Marvel Studios with their series. But yeah. So yeah, basically that's the end of Loki episode 4. So if you guys notice, it's not more like a breakdown stating every scene, but we're just trying to explain the feeling, the depth, and the theories that are going on. That's why this episode took very long. So we really hope you guys enjoyed this discussion. If you have anything more to discuss with us about, you can always join us in our Discord community. It's in the link in the description below. You can just leave your comments, and we will definitely reply them, because we appreciate your feedback and your theories and ideas. There's no stupid theories, but there's always theories that we enjoy discussing. Like, it can be as crazy as you can. Okay. If Sean is here, yeah, you will know, because he comes up with really crazy theories. And we should him down. But yeah, so if you guys enjoy this content, and also you guys enjoy whatever contents that we do, if you want us to do more, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon in this video, and follow us in our Instagram, the geekstreet.my, and recommend to your friends and family, okay? Like I mentioned earlier on in the episode, our page, the Geek Street, okay? We need to make it into like a viral thing so it appears when people look for it. Yep, the Geek Street.
Yeah.
So that's all. Now we're just gonna wait for Loki episode 4. So till then, this is the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao, guys.